Copenhagen is easy to explore on your own. The city is not large, and bicycles are available everywhere. The cycle paths are among the best in Europe, with the absolute highlight being the Cycleslangen, cycle highway, which winds elegantly across the water and between the tall buildings. Nevertheless, many tourists opt for the pre-planned convenience of a canal boat and sightseeing bus. The tour in the red double-decker bus is advertised as the Little Mermaid tour. After visiting the old military Castellet complex, I find myself face to face with a mermaid created by Edvard Eriksson in 1913, and am lucky enough to have her all to myself for a moment. Graceful but stubborn, she poses on one of the round stones in the crystal clear water that reflects the now blue sky. However, my joy is short-lived. A tour boat routinely stops to give all passengers the opportunity to photograph the mermaid. From the shore, German Montessori children climb the rocks and remain there for so long that they must be visible in hundreds of photographs. Their parents watch and smile. How do all these people know about the Little Mermaid? From the film? From collected fairy tale books? From the photos circulating everywhere? From travel guides about Copenhagen? The attention paid to the statue contrasts sharply with the interest in the creator of this story, Christian Andersen, 1805 to 1875. I decide to visit Magasin du Nord, the oldest Scandinavian department store. According to my travel guide, the fairy tale writer rented an attic room in this building that is said to still be in its original condition. Attic rooms are usually located on the top floor, so I begin my search on the 5th floor. None of the doors lead to a possible writer's residence, but there is a service center in this department. I ask a friendly lady where I can find what I am looking for, and she seems to know what I am talking about. You need to go to the 3rd floor, to the children's toys. They will help you there. I thank her warmly and descend 2 escalators. It's not easy to find the children's department, but at the very end of the room, an arrow points upwards towards children's toys. What does that arrow mean? Straight ahead or literally upwards? The only option is to climb a staircase, and I suspect there is a mezzanine floor there. An employee of the department store walks past the children's toys, and I ask him where the famous fairy tale writer's room is. He looks at me as if he's hearing that name for the first time. He calls over a colleague and asks if he knows where I can find Christian Andersen's room. "Who told you to come here?" asks the second employee. "The service department told me to go to the children's toys on the 3rd floor." The employee laughs, apparently relieved to be rid of me. "This is the 4th floor. You need to go 1 floor down." So I go back down the stairs. Since the staff can't give me any useful information, I decide to look for it myself. I open one door after another until, opposite a modern espresso machine, I recognize an image of Andersen on a swing door. Behind it, I see a meeting room. Could this be the historic spot? I walk a little further and reach a dark corridor. On one side of it is a small room, most of which is taken up by a box bed. On either side are 2 straight chairs, and on the windowsill I notice a few sheets of paper and a quill pen with which Christian Andersen wrote his world-famous stories, published in many languages: The Ugly Duckling, Thumbelina, The Snow Queen, The Emperor's New Clothes, and, of course, The Little Mermaid. Faint light filters through the windows, which look out onto a blank wall. This is the place where Andersen worked in great solitude on his 3,300 fairy tales, his travel stories, his novels and his poems. The fact that hardly anyone visits this place anymore lends this intimate moment a certain magic.